don't know what you're looking for. You haven't found it, baby, that's for sure. You rip me up and spread me all around in the dust of the deed of time. And this is not a case of lust, you see. It's not a matter of you versus me. It's find a way you want me in your own, but in the end it's always me alone. And I'm losing my favorite game. You're losing your mind again. And I'm losing my baby, losing my favorite game.
Okay, my chess friends, I warmly welcome you to this chess video. And I was speaking with one of the friends of this channel, Mr. Robert Tennant, and he was asking if I could feature some more amateur games. And personally, I think it's a very, very good idea because, quite frankly, much of Grandmaster play, modern Grandmaster play, is simply beyond my understanding. And this is the reason why I feature Grandmasters before the computer epoch, because they appear to me to be playing more like human beings than today's Grandmasters, whose play very, very much reflects that of the computer era. And it's understandable, of course. The problem for me is I don't think like a computer. I think like a human being. So anyhow, he asked me to feature some amateur games, and that's what I'm going to do. The game begins e4, c5. You have a Sicilian on board. Knight c3 is potentially a closed Sicilian. You have d6 and f4, the Grand Prix Attack. It's a dynamic and very direct method for white to play against the Sicilian. We have g6, knight to f3, bishop to g7, and the very interesting bishop to b5. Of course it comes with schack, but what is the rationale? You can see that this knight can interpose itself, but it can also come to the square c6 and from c6 to d4, where it can become a very powerful piece. And white will need to take time to play a move like c3, and this means, of course, moving this knight as well to dislodge it. So instead of that, he simply interposes, or he simply gives check, and if the knight does come to either c6 or d7, he may in fact simply chop it to save all that hassle with it coming to d4. Well, we have bishop to d7, and the bishop simply drops back to c4. Now, I personally think the bishop is very effective along this diagonal, where it hits, of course, the weakness on c7. But there's a deeper reason for me liking this move, and I'll show you just in a second. We have e6 and d3, and we'll just take a look at the pawn structure and you'll see why this bishop is so effective on this diagonal. You can see, if we just take a look at the bare bones of the pawn structure, that white has a few ideas. You can play something like c3, and if you give black a move, d4, breaking open the centre and building a very formidable pawn centre. This is one idea. The other idea, of course, is to play f5, attacking the fianchetto position. And of course, if there's a bishop here on c4, it plays a very, very good role in helping this. And this is in fact what you will see during this game. So we'll just go back to that now. Now, Black himself realised the importance of the f5 square. He played knight to e7, giving it some more protection. White castled. The knight came to c6. And here, White tried his idea of f5, trying to break up the king-side fianchetto position. Black's king is still in the centre. White has a very slight lead in development. If the position opens up, well, the chances are that it should favour him. G takes on f5, and here White plays a brilliant move. He plays knight to g5. Now what is his idea? Well, after h6 we have knight takes on f7. Wow. Look at that. King takes on f7, and then e takes on f5. Making, of course, use of the pin against the king. There's no point in the knight taking, because, well, if the knight takes, the rook will simply take it on f5. So we have bishop to d4 with jack, king to h1, and knight to e5. F takes on e6 comes with jack, king is forced to move, and White is winning material. Knight takes, and rather than taking back his material immediately, White plays the excellent queen to g4, protecting his passed pawn, and of course coming with jack. Knight blocks on g6, and then, and only then, does White take back his material. Rook to f8, and the bishop comes to f4. Attacking the weakness here on d6. Bishop takes on c3, b takes on c3, and queen to f6. And this is essentially a blunder. Well, hopefully, my friends, you can see the tactical motif of discovered attack in this position. We have the three elements of that. We have the attacking piece. We have the piece that will reveal the attack by moving. We have the target, the queen itself. There's also the tactical motif of deflection, deflecting the king away from the protection of the queen. And therefore, White plays the excellent bishop takes on h6 with jack. King takes on h6, and the dusky maiden is forced to leave the board after rook takes on f6. Rook takes on f6, h4, rook's double on the f file, rook to e1, rook to f4, and queen to g5 with jack. King goes to h7, h5, knight to e5. And again there's the tactical motif. This rook here, in fact, cannot leave the 7th rank, otherwise, well, the pawn promotes. And White simply takes advantage of this with queen takes on f4, rook takes, and White has won a rook for nothing. King to h6, and after this, the game is essentially over. And these pieces here simply fall like apples from a tree. Takes, takes, and takes. And the game is over. A very, very interesting and instructive game there. I must tell you, my chess friends, it was a little bit of a giant killing. White player was a player from Pakistan called Muhammad Aslam. And he was rated 1700. And his opponent was from Germany. Boscher, I think he was called, and he was rated above 2000. It's always nice to feature games like this where fairly average amateur players get to beat up on master level players. And my hope is that you found it enjoyable and you found it instructive. If you've any of your own games you would like to send to me and have them featured, well, please do so. Just send me a message. Suffice to say, my friends, I thank you very much for taking the time, and I wish you well with your own chess. Take care and goodbye.
I only know what I've been working for. Another you so I could love you more. I should have seen it when my hope was new. My heart is black and my body is blue, and I'm losing my favorite game. You're losing your mind again. I'm losing my